BIlly Carson just deleted his expose, or should I say unhinged rant, on the fake debate that's ruining his career after he was caught using ChatGPT to fake his receipts. It seems things just keep getting worse for little old Billy. About a month ago, BIlly Carson made a disastrous appearance on his friend's podcast.
If you say it's an unfortunate yes, but I'm going to go with that.
Since then, he has disowned his now former friend after knocking on doors at 2 a.m. to plead to keep that video private.
I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. We're getting a response.
Sadly, the podcast was briefly published, and people started to respond before Billy got it taken down. So, he was forced to send nonsense cease and desist orders. That didn't work either. So, out came the fake copyright claims and threats of libel suits.
Defendant number 1 is going to be sued for $1 million.
Billy's trying to sue me.
People are shocked that I'm suing somebody. Oh, I've sued a lot of people already.
BIlly Carson is attempting to sue me.
And I don't care if I win or lose. I just want you to spend money.
In what can only be called a masterclass on the Streisand effect, all Billy's efforts did was make the clips viral, and suddenly everyone was laughing at him.
You see?
Finally, Billy decided to respond publicly. Over the course of a hazy 3-hour live stream, he variously claimed that he was getting rich off the publicity.
You guys doubled my popularity.
That there was a vast conspiracy of 100,000 world elites,
Hundreds of thousands of people all over the world.
spending tens of thousands of dollars on fake bots to take him down.
Spending tens of thousands of dollars on fake bots.
That his critics were nobodies chasing clout.
That's what they are. They're pure clout chasers.
That he had been ambushed in the chat by 3, 4, or perhaps 5 defendants.
4 defendants. Actually, now there's a potential 5th defendant.
That it had been edited to make him look bad.
Contrived, edited version.
That he wasn't allowed to respond at all.
Because I never got a chance to answer any questions or get my voice heard.
That he performed poorly because he was sick.
And I was sick. So exhausted I couldn't even breathe.
Or that it was all just a deep fake and he hadn't said any of that embarrassing stuff.
I wasn't talking. This is all the talking being done for me. AI edited clips. Dub that was. The deep fake.
Somehow, it got even worse when Billy tried to bring the receipts, as he had promised he would do at the stream's beginning.
And as you know, I always bring the receipts, so it's going to be a good talk.
Instead of bringing scholars or source documents, he brought an unsourced PowerPoint. He implied that he was quoting facts, but of course he could have just written that text himself. But he was too lazy or too ignorant to do that. So he cheated and apparently made ChatGPT do the work for him.
I could see him on his screen on ChatGPT trying to look for the answer real quick.
Slide after slide presented text that looked and sounded like stereotypical ChatGPT output, derived from some fairly obvious prompting to get what he wanted.
Each like a paragraph or too long. That gives me anxiety. I don't want to read messages that long.
Billy was either too stupid or too slothful to fix the bot's mistakes, and so presented nonsensical claims, like Codex Sinaiticus, a 4th century Greek manuscript of the Bible, and the King James Version varied because of different translation methodologies. Never mind that he couldn't make the bot spit out his actual claim that the Sinai Bible, as he ignorantly calls Sinaiticus, lacks the crucifixion.
The statement is according to the Sinai Bible. Okay, according to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
This was Billy's proof, and he was going with it.
But I'm going to go with that.
Leaving him a receipt, about as useful as one for the Brooklyn Bridge, written in invisible ink, and left in one's other pants. Commenting on a slide about the Wycliffe Bible controversy, a subject that was never raised on the podcast, Billy declared that it was suppressed, because Wycliffe wrote in English instead of that garbage British no one wanted.
And nobody wants to read that garbage British.
As best I can tell, this was Billy mistaking the words Middle English on the slide for the vernacular of the common people, as opposed to that fancy highbrow Old English of the King James. Of course, in reality, the King James was written in the common language of the day, properly called early modern English. Whoops.
You got to be dumber than a box of rocks. Like, you didn't realize what you were doing.
But Billy still hadn't hit rock bottom. In a desperate attempt to save his use of the 2000-era Gospel of Jesus' Wife, universally recognized as a modern forgery, he made ChatGPT give reasons why Karen King, the only scholar ever fooled by the forgery, might have been explicitly pressured into stating the document was a forgery. The bot couldn't be made to lie hard enough, but little old Billy didn't notice and deadpan read ChatGPT's declaration that, and I quote,
King's acknowledgement that the evidence presses in the direction of forgery could also stem from her commitment to scholarly rigor rather than external coercion.
This was the icing on the cake of a slide filled with declarations that the document was an obvious forgery, according to all academics, including King, the media, and the public at large. The fact that Billy presented obviously manipulated AI text, which strongly contradicted his thesis that many scholars support the document, is quite possibly,
I said it's quite possible,
the funniest thing I have ever witnessed.
Now, maybe it's not real. Does that even matter?
After the stream, the moderators couldn't keep up, and Billy's own comment section was flooded with people laughing at his meltdown. In the end, it wasn't all bad for little old Billy, though.
Why they got to do all this for little old Billy Carson?
At least he had enough sense to figure out what he'd done and privatize the video 48 hours later.
Limited access to avoid challenge.
This video's unavailable.
Yes. I guess there is at least one functioning brain cell in that head of his after all. Check out my massive 5-hour breakdown of the situation where Mary and I actually bring the receipts.
I'm looking forward to it. All right.